Hey, this is Coach Ledbetter, and I'm doing a video on solving linear equations. Okay, so we have a problem here. We're going to take a couple. I'm just going to do a couple of them when they're in standard form. So let's take a problem very similar to this. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I want to solve for y. So we want y by itself. All right. So the first thing we want to do is we want to move the x. So the opposite of plus x is a minus 3x to both sides of the equal sign. Remember, this equal sign is like a wall. So whenever you see an equal sign and you're moving letters or numbers and you're moving them to the opposite side, you have to do the opposite. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so 3x minus 3x is what we call a zero pair. So let's go. Bring down your 4y. Now, you can't subtract 12 minus 3x. I mean, you literally can't say that's 9x. Think of this as money. You have $12 and somebody says, hey, I want to take 3x's away from your $12. You can't because they're two different things. So in every situation, you're just going to rewrite this in this form. Now, some put the 3x minus 3x first and then the 12. I do it like this just to make it simple. All right, now we want to get the y by itself. So to get the y by itself, we want to divide, because we ask ourselves what's being done to y, and what's being done to y is being multiplied by 4. So the opposite of multiply by 4 is divide everything by 4. And so when I do this, 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 1 times y is y. Then you have to divide 12 by 4. So how many times does 4 go into 12? And you should say 3. If you notice over here, we want to leave this as a fraction. All right, it is a subtract or a negative. So we're going to put a negative or a subtract right there. Remember, we call it a subtract when it's between two terms. When it's just by itself, or the first term is a negative, then we call it a negative. We don't call it a subtract 12. We just say negative. So for example, if I had 3, that's negative 3. If we wanted to call it a subtract, we'll put a number or another term in front of it, and that's 4 subtracted by 3. But anyway, this will be 3/4, and we put the letter x. And that's how we convert standard form into the slope-intercept form. All right, so I'm going to do one more. All right, so we're going to do one more here. Let's do, all right, so 5x minus 6y equals 12. All right, so we're going to have something like this. All right, so the first thing I want to do is look at my y. I want to move everything over to the opposite side. I see an equal sign, so that means I'm going to do the opposite. All right, so don't forget, if the signs in front is a positive, we don't say that this is being subtracted by 5. The subtract sign goes with the 6, not with the 5. So if you ask yourself, what's the variable? You say y, what's being done to y? It's being it's being multiplied by -6, but y is also being added by 5x. Remember, we moved the x first. So I'm going to subtract, we're going to subtract it by 5x to both sides of the equal sign. Look, here we go. Remember, 5x minus 5x, that's a zero pair. It's just like what we did before. Bring down your y value, -6y. Bring down your equal sign. Remember, you can't subtract 12 from 5x, so you just write it like you see it. Now, what's your variable? It's y. What's being done to y? It's being multiplied by -6. What's the opposite of multiply by -6? You're dividing everything by -6. -6 divided by -6 is 1, and 1 times y is y. 12 divided by -6 is -2. This is where you got to watch out. You see you have 2 negatives here? Well, that makes a positive. Leave it as a fraction, and then make sure you put your x value here. And this is our slope-intercept form after we change it to this.